mean, sure, it makes your team better, right? And that's what you got to do.
First off, we have two members of the cheer team here. Kinslee and Ronald are going to come up, so please welcome them. And we will just have them kind of tell us a little bit about themselves, when they're going to graduate, what they're going to do, and then we'll start with the coaches. Okay, so go ahead.
Hi everyone, my name is Kinslee Hage. I was the captain of the Hardrocker cheer squad this season. I grew up in a little town called Colstrip, Montana, and I will graduate in May and move 2 hours from there. I'll be moving to Billings. I accepted a job there a couple months ago, so I'm graduating as a civil engineer and looking forward to my future.
Yeah, I'm quite looking towards my future. Hello, my name is Ronald Kitty. I come here from Shakopee, Minnesota. I'm originally born in Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm going to graduate in May this year as a civil engineer. This is my first and unfortunately last year on the cheer team. So, yeah.
Yes, you guys have any questions for us? Anything you want to know about the cheer team, about us personally?
Talk about your advisor. Tell me about her.
Coach Gasper?
Yeah.
She's great. She comes with a lot of experience. She used to coach for Sturgis High School, their competition team. She's really motivating. She knows what to say at the right moments to get us where we need to be. Great ideas, great future focus. I've obviously worked close with her as the captain, and she really has a clear vision of what she wants the squad to be. And we look forward to the younger members really stepping up and fulfilling that vision for her. She's a great coach, she's a great leader, and I've been honored to have her as my coach these last 2 years.
I thought you guys were awesome. Appreciate it. It was fun to watch. My heart would stop every time you go
Ours stopped too.
You guys were very entertaining, and it was fun to watch you progress throughout the year, and you kept about it. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Well done.
Did you guys grow halfway through the season? Does it seem like you started out with the girls and then
Yep, yeah, so usually between football and basketball, not by choice, but we have a lot of people that school gets too much, especially with a lot of our freshmen. Just not understanding quite what that time commitment looks like when they start. And then spring semester is generally harder classes, class load is fuller. So we generally have a lot of transition between those two sports seasons. And then towards the end of the year, this year, we did have a few girls come in and try out for the team and make the squad. So we just started working with them, getting them, well, especially while all of us that are graduating, we're still here and we teach them. Victoria Helpenstein and joining campus. And now I'll be coaching.
How often you practice?
We practice 3 nights a week for 2 hours, and then we also lift 3 days a week in the weight room, coaching.
Do you have gymnastic backgrounds?
No, that's actually something that's really interesting about our cheer squad is we don't require any previous experience. So all the things that we're doing, over half of our team has never cheered before. So those people that are flying in the air, the people that are throwing them in the air, there's a lot of times that that's their first experience and the first exposure to the sport of cheer.
So, what inspired you to join in your senior year?
So I love sports for one, and my favorite sport is soccer. They have a common fan culture, it's growing here in America, where they often either sing songs or cheer for the team for the whole game, and they're standing, and they're getting rowdy and stuff. So I enjoy trying to be like the 12th man and the 6th man on the court or on the field. So when I was actually friends with some people on the cheer team last year, so they came up to me and was like, "Hey, you want to join the cheer team?" I was like, "Okay, why not?"
And then they're like, "Oh wait, really? You're being serious?"
That's awesome.
I'm not loud because they tell me to. I'm loud because I want to.
What does it mean to be a Hardrocker?
Oh. It means you really gotta be tough as nails. When I came on this campus, from the academic side, I did not know it was going to be this hard. And I really do appreciate that it is this hard because it really developed me as a person first before it developed me as a student. And I could not be in more gratitude for what the school has given me for the past few years. So for me, that's what being a Hardrocker is.
So what would you like to do with your degree?
Hopefully go into work as a civil engineer. I hope to go into graduate school and maybe become a city planner.
I guess I'm going to elaborate on what it means to be a Hardrocker. Ronald and I kind of have a different background. We were both transfer students. So we came in from community colleges elsewhere in the United States. And for me, I guess being a Hardrocker means excellence above all else, whether that's in the classroom, on the court, on the field. I know all of our coaching staff, all of our professors are here to help us succeed and to be the best people we can be, both on and off the court. So when I think of being a Hardrocker, I think we're excellent at everything we do. No excuses.
Thank you guys very much. Thank you guys, we're really super enjoyable this whole season long, so thank you. And Ronald, you definitely were the 6th person on the team, you were the 6th guy. Okay, so we'll just start out. I won't get up in between, you don't need to see me anymore. We'll go with Wyatt and then Steve and then Coach Glenn, and we'll finish it up. I know it's very disappointing. Coach Larson said his goodbyes for the season and thank yous last week, so he will not be talking. So we'll start with Wyatt.
Hey guys, so we just wrapped up our inaugural season. Just the Saturday before spring break was our last match. So we ended with 4 wins and 2 losses. We were just 1 win short of advancing to playoffs and securing $1,000 in scholarship for each player. So that was pretty cool getting that close in our first season. Even though we didn't make playoffs, we have a lot to be proud of. Because even in our losses, we were always able to pick up a win in the best of 3 matches. So that felt really, really good. Especially against Washington University and St. Louis, who did advance the playoffs. We took a win off of them. So, you know, we were just right there on the cusp. So it felt really good getting that close. We raised our expectations of the players and established standards that really helped us towards the end of the season have really efficient practices. So moving into this next fall, we're looking to really hit the ground running, because for the most part it was a lot of learning experiences over the fall and up to this point in terms of like how our practice is going to function, and we really started to hammer that down and have some really efficient practices towards the end of our season. We've also made some really big strides in terms of our communication. So during a game, I've touched on this, there's no coaching while a game is taking place. So just building our players up to the point where they can have effective communication during those games is really vital for us. So now that we're officially in the off season, we're going to continue to practice 3 days a week. And this was, the players wanted to do this. I gave them the opportunity. I was like, hey, we could take a couple weeks off here. But they want to just keep practicing and keep grinding away. Because there's still tournaments that we can compete in. They're just all optional. So we'll continue to look for tournaments and ways to compete and stay active. And it's awesome just to see that energy from the players. They want to just keep grinding away. So it's awesome to see as a coach. That like, even at the end of the season, no one has that like deflated attitude. So yeah, just this coming May, we're going to make a trip down to Dallas, Texas for DreamHack Dallas, which is a huge esports convention. There'll be thousands of people across the United States flocking into Dallas for this. And they have some tournaments that they'll be putting on that we'll be competing in, so we'll be looking forward to that. Any questions?
Why don't they allow coaching?
I guess that's just the standard that was set at the professional level. So, you know, League of Legends really took off at the professional level before it trickled down to collegiate. And that was just kind of a standard. There's coaching before the games, because you play a best of 3, right? So there's coaching before and in between, but when your players are in there, at the computers playing, there's no coaching.
Stupid question. Is there a timeout? Can they take a timeout to the group?
No, there isn't timeouts. You can pause. You can actually pause the game and freeze everything in motion, but that's for like technical difficulties and things like that. I'm kind of hoping they do implement something like that, because there's always updates and like changes to the rules. So that could be something that's implemented in the future, but not currently. That would make for a really cool dynamic though if you could time out. Any other questions? All right, thank you guys.
All right, well, I know the first question you guys are all wondering is what happened in that. So, we took Erica to the airport with Coach Reed on Wednesday morning, and then Joel and Ross and I hopped in a van and drove the poles down for 12 hours to Kansas. And it was a long trip, but it was a lot of learning for us. Unfortunately, at the meet, she no-lighted. Means she didn't clear a bar. Just a lot of nerves that day. It just wasn't quite herself on the runway. It wasn't able to get the penetration to get far enough away from the bar. She was up over it cleanly every time. Just caught it on the way down. And unfortunately, that's one of the problems with the bar events. There's only 2 events in track and field that this year guaranteed to end in failure, and that's high jump and pole vault, because they always end on distance. So unfortunately, that was what happened. When we look at her season, she had a fantastic season. I mean, she hit the provisional qualifying mark 4 times over the course of the season. She reset her own school record 4 times. She had 5 first place finishes. She hit the automatic qualifying mark, which only 3 people in the country hit all season. So really, for us, it's just about hitting the reset button right now and get ourselves geared up for the autumn season, and kind of getting her to pick this up a little bit now, get a little bit of distance from it, and we move forward. That's the great thing about track and field. There's always that next opportunity out there for us to move to keep going, and we just have to hit that reset switch. So our goal this week, if the weather will cooperate with us, is to get down to Pueblo on Friday and compete. they're going to have 2 events on Friday, the javelin and the hammer throw. And if we can get down there in time, we'll compete in those. If not, we should be there Saturday for the bulk of the competition. Weather looks fantastic. Once we get there, it's going to be like 57 degrees. We're excited about that, but we got to get there first. Outdoors is a really short season for us. We're the indoor season, we have about 8 weeks of competition before the national meet, before the conference meet. We only have 6 weeks, including the conference meet outdoors. So it's a real short time frame for us to turn around. Some of the events change between indoors and outdoors. We do away with the 60, we bring in the 100 meters, we add in the 4x1 relay, but we get rid of the distance medley. We add a 10K as our longest distance event and get rid of the 3K, and we have the steeplechase too, in addition to the javelin and the hammer throw. So really a different dynamic for us going into outdoors. Changes a lot of things for us in terms of what we're able to do when we're at the meet. Plus we qualify 24 in each event into the outdoor conference instead of 18. So it really changes the way that we are able to approach things with the meets as they go. And so the biggest thing for us this time of year is just making sure we get to the right meets and we can get to them. We set our schedule early, and so that means we don't always have a chance to look at what the weather's going to be. Fortunately, in track and field, it's not like some of the other sports where you're locked into an event. We can move as we need to based on the weather, and so we're going to trace the weather as much as we can and try and get ourselves to the best competition that we can weather-wise that fits our needs. So, we know, as Joel's mentioned it a few times, we've got the Bauer Invitational on April 13th, and that's Alumni Weekend, so we're hoping to get a decent turnout for that. And we've got on the 26th, 27th, and 28th of April, we've got the RMAC Championship, and I can tell you right now, we are going to see a lot of track records at O'Hara Stadium that get written at that meeting. There's no question about it. They're going to rewrite the record books at this one. So this is going to be a fantastic meet, fantastic opportunity for us to show the RMAC, because most of the RMAC schools have never been to O'Hara Stadium. So this is going to be a brand new opportunity for them, give them a chance to see that we have a great facility, and we have a great vet staff to be able to pull on this meet. So we're really excited about that. That still leaves us with 2 weeks left in the season after that meet. The next week is finals, so for most of our kids, that will probably be the end of their season, but for our kids that have a shot at the national meet, they'll stick around through that last week of the season, which is the week after school gets out, and we'll take them to a last chance meet and try and get some fast times and see if we can get a few more people into the meet. Because America was kind of lonely there. We had 3 coaches, AD, and so we got to do a little bit better than that. Questions?
What time do they start the bar at?
So at the national meet, they base that off of examining the field, and so what they do is they basically take the average of the field and then go down 2 lifts from that, and their vault to lift is considered 15 centimeters. We do everything metric, so it's about 6 inches for each lift. And so they started at 363, which is a pretty comfortable height for her. She actually opted to come in at 373, and which is about 12.3, I believe. And she's been real comfortable there, but she got bucked by her biggest pole in a warm-up. And when I say bucked, what I mean is that her pole hit the plant box, and it was a little more than what she expected. Flew out of her hand, she landed upside down in the pit. Her head just above the box. Just made her nervous. Kind of threw her off. Way it goes.
So will you carry your entire indoor team to outdoor?
Everybody's still training. we'll have a couple of people that will redshirt, and we'll get a couple of people off redshirt. So see a little bit of trade out here and there. We'll also see some people, for example, our weight throw women are almost exclusively, well, not almost, they are all much better discus throwers than they are weight and shot put throwers. They're all long and tall, and so they've got great levers for the disc. Makes it a little bit tougher for them. They're pretty lean, so it makes it a little tougher for them to put some muscle behind the shot and really put that out there. So it really changes the dynamic at the end. So it's not just changing, it's what events are there. It makes a big difference for us. Other questions? All right, thank you.
I'll get up. You guys are right there.
Hello, thanks for coming out and braving the weather. Oh wait, I didn't used to saying that. It's actually a nice day, so that's going to change from what I hear. So I actually got to get out of here tonight, try to get 2 balls for the state tournament over there. Do some recruiting, so get ahead of the blizzard that's coming. So, but just kind of recap our season. Excuse me, with our guys. Going back and looking at some of the stats, and some of the accolades that our guys got this year, my 14 years here, even NEI to us now as Division II, it was a pretty good year. And so, some of the things that we were able to accomplish as a team was pretty incredible, especially from when we look at our offensive statistics. Where we were able to come from basically dead last in 3-point field goal percentage. And I think we were down to second to last in field goal percentage at Christmas time. And at the end of the year in conference, we finished 4th in the conference in field goal percentage at 47%. And we finished 2nd in the league in 3-point field goal percentage at 40%, which is really good. If you can get a team overall to shoot 40%, that's a 3-point field goal percentage. That's excellent. And the team that led both those was Colorado Mines. And so that's kind of what Barbara said. They were at 41% for 3-point field percentage and 52% field goal percentage, which has to be one of the highest. I had to look at a nation. It has to be one of the highest in the nation. Defensively, what was really good to see is that we started off really good defensively, and we were able to continue that all the way through the season. Field goal percentage-wise, which is probably one of our more telling statistics for us because of the style of play we are. We were 5th in the league in allowing only 44% from the field. And we'd still like to narrow that down a little bit further. But 44% is a pretty good mark. And Dixie State actually led the conference at 38%. They were only allowed to shoot 38% against them, which is really good. And they have a nice shot blocker in the middle, though. That kind of helps with that kind of statistic. But overall, scoring defense, we're also 5th. We only allowed 71 points per game. And all these numbers are drastically improved from the year before, from last year, which kind of shows where we were in 9 conference wins, which is the most conference wins that we've had since we joined the RMAC. And I think that's a great move for us. Almost doubled it. Last year we were 5, and so we're up to 9 in 1 year. That's a heck of a jump. And I can see Joel and they're already clicking and saying, well, we're going to double. We'll be at 18 next year, right? So that's the plan, but we'll see how that goes. But no, I'm really happy with the guys that are able to do that. And we are a young group. We only started 2 freshmen and a sophomore and 2 juniors. Did finish up with a senior at the point guard spot and did a great job. We have basically our whole nucleus coming back. We're really excited about that, and we just want to try to see a little help here. We did have some end of the season accolades. Mitch Suker was the RMAC Freshman of the Year. Okay, congratulations to him for that. Had many coaches make a lot of comments on him and the type of season that he had. And quite honestly, he kind of struggled early on. He had a couple games early and stuff, but quite consistency, and then he really found his own in the second half of the season, which is very common for your first year. But we're really excited for him and know that him and Logan also both got second team all conference. And that's the first time we've had multiple all conference players in one season. and both well deserving for that. As we know, Mitch got Offensive Player of the Week during the season, and then Logan was Defensive Player of the Week 2 times during the season. So for them to get those awards says a lot about their play, obviously, but says a lot about our team, and I think the respect that we're getting from the coaches, since we're the only team that didn't qualify for the playoffs that had multiple guys on the all-conference team. So I think people are recognizing that we've got a good squad. Kinslee Hage is another guy I think is really knocking on the window as an all-conference performer. He ended up being second in the league in rebounds, which is incredible for a guy who plays the wing position. He averages just over 8 points a game. And so I think the goal for him is going to be next year is hopefully try to lead the league in double-doubles. I really think he's capable of doing that. And so I think that will be something that will really motivate him. And he's not far off from it. He's a couple rebounds, maybe a rebound and a half per game, and less than 2 points. He just needs to make another bucket per game, and he can be right there doing that. So we're pretty excited about that young group that we have there. This team also, our balance was pretty incredible. I think I'm right on this because I was trying to look back quickly this morning. I think we had 2 guys that scored 30 plus points in the game this year. And I think we had 6 players that scored 20 plus in a game, which is really a heck of a stat to look at. It's not something that's really taken into consideration when you look at conference stats. But from a balance standpoint, when you have a group that has that many guys that potentially can score that much in a game, I think it's very hard to defend. And I think that kind of showed as our season went on and guys started getting more confidence. And so if we return all 6 of those guys, or 5 of those 6 guys, we'll be coming back this year. Obviously, I do have some thank yous. Last week I kind of put those off, okay? And so, to have the year we had, I think was really good. Obviously, we didn't make the playoffs, and probably a lot of people now start looking in and say, well, you didn't have such a successful year. But I think for the young as our group was, and you can see from where we started at the beginning of the year to where we finished, it was a very successful season for our group. And I think they have really set a great foundation for us to build forward from here on out. I love to hear people come up and say, well, I can't wait until next year. Okay, and we really can't either to a certain extent, but there's a lot of work to be had. It'd be great if we could just count on every team to be the same next year, but that won't happen. Everybody's going to change. And there will be a lot of changes. We did lose a lot of seniors in our league. We're one of the few teams that didn't lose a whole lot. So, and there's some teams that are like Fort Lewis, who are usually at the top and had a very poor year by their standards. They'll definitely be back in it. They'll reload and look to get back in it. So it'll be a very competitive league next year. And that's some of the things that we're going to point to for our guys. They are young, and just because we're a year older won't necessarily mean that we get better just by showing up next year. So we do have some work to get in with that. But the reason we were able to make that success wasn't just because of us as coaches or our players. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that help us. First of all, our administration, Joel, Tiffany, Jen, and Anita. Give them a hand, please, because of all the things that they do. Our game day management is probably one of the best in the league. Sometimes I wish it wasn't. I wish we were a little bit more snarky, I guess, I don't know what the word is, with our opponents. When we go to Metro State and dress in a classroom, we go to Adams State, we had 1 shower that worked. So we don't necessarily get treated real well. When teams come to our place, we treat them first class. I think that's a good thing, even though sometimes I'd like to stick it to them a little bit more. Okay, but we do a first class job of treating them when they come here. And then just the experience that we have with the cheer squad, with the band, and everything else, we really put on a neat product. And I think someone had said, last week we had a lot of comments, people saying, tell people about us. Because, yeah, I've been here 14 years, and I thought we played good basketball during those years in the NEI, but I think just the overall experience of coming to one of our games now is a pretty entertaining value. And so, do spread that word, because we do have some people doing a lot of work and make sure that is a good experience when you come to the game. Larry Sampson, I wanted to make a special thanks to him because of not only just his clock keeping that he does for us, but when he came to Alaska with us, he was a lot of help. It was nice to have an extra person on board there. I tease him about he does a great job of starting the bands, but that was actually pretty important up there. Okay, he was able to move bands for us when we needed to. I even made him take a big long walk from one end of the airport to the other to drop off bands. So we do appreciate his support of our program. The women's team again, I mentioned this last week, they were very supportive with everything that we kind of went through in the beginning of the year and stuff. Tremendous help, and when I was not quite having a full-time staff yet, with Roger on board and stuff, they were able to step in and help with me, and that was really important at that time. And so really appreciate, and like I said, I'm really grateful that the relationship that we have with the women's staff, because of so much time that we do spend together, and I think it's important that our kids get along well with each other, because I do hear some horror stories from other teams of how their bus rides are and things like that. And very proud of our guys, the way that they treat the women's team. And we have great young ladies as well that are very, very supportive of us also. So really appreciate them. Also, our strength and athletic training. Eric Ingleton, who is our strength coach, does a tremendous job with our guys. Just had a meeting with him today. That I want a couple guys looking like some strong safeties and linebackers by next year. So we want to get a little bit stronger. We still get pushed around a little bit inside. Some of that is our youth. And so we just got to continue to develop our young men into more mature men. And so, but he does a great job. He puts in a ton of time with our guys and other sports as well. He's got a great personality, and he really works well with our guys. And so really appreciate what he does. Derek Lisi, you know, for the first half of the year, I was kind of wondering why he was even getting paid. There wasn't much for him to do. Unfortunately, he got pretty busy towards the end of the year and earned his check, and he does a great job with our guys, really staying on top of them when they need to come in and get rehab done. He does a great job of communicating with me, because sometimes I fail in that area, and he makes sure that we stay on top and keep that connection going. And so he's a really guy behind the scenes that you don't see too much of. That he does a lot for our program and making sure that guys are ready to go and are staying healthy or getting healthy off of an injury or just kind of a little something that's just kind of nagging them a little bit and stuff. So really appreciate the work that they do as well. Obviously our assistant coaches, Roger Trinable and Ron Ryder, did a tremendous job for us this year. Really appreciate Ron, you know, obviously really stepped up. He's a part-time guy, especially early in the year. Asked a little bit more of him, and he really had no problem stepping up and helping out more than he was able to do, than he usually does in the past. And so, but obviously to have their experience on the team is very good. I'd really like to have basketball guys and basketball minds. I know in today's day and age, a lot is put on recruiting, and recruiting is important. But I think it's important to have the basketball guys, and if you have good basketball guys that understand how to coach, they understand the relationship side of where the recruiting comes into and stuff. And so I really like the fact that we have good experience on our staff. And they did a tremendous job. One of the big reasons why we made such a big climb out of that hole with our shooting was because of Ron and Roger's teamwork of getting our guys together, working with some specific guys on their shots, and just working with some of them on their shot selection and understanding where they should be getting their shots from. And so for that extra time they put in, it really paid off for us as the season went on. And I can't thank them enough for everything that they've done this year. Obviously, appreciate all you as well, and all the support that you guys gave us and our guys. And you know, our guys really grew a lot throughout the year, and just all the things that you guys do to show up, give them pats on the back. You know, early in the year they really needed a pat on the back, and that really paid off for them and helped them through some tough times for them. And really had to have a great year, which was our goal this year, was to make sure that they were able to have a great year that they knew that they were capable of having. And so it was really exciting to see that kind of support come their way. and which I really didn't expect anything less, but it was very appreciative for you guys. And then everything else that you do, when we were up at Black Hills, like you said, it was great to see everybody up there. It was great to see the cheer team up there, and I really look forward to going back up there again next year because I believe that it's at Thanksgiving week, and so hopefully they won't have the students there again, and we should outnumber them at their place again. So that would be great, okay? And we'll have 2 home games against them next year. That would be awesome. So we really appreciate all the support that we got from everybody and all the kind words and stuff. And hopefully I do my job again with you guys, and we keep those kind of words coming. So, and finally, she's not here, but my wife and my kids, they don't see a lot of me a lot of these times, and I miss a lot of my kids' games and things like that. And my wife did a great job of taking kids from one location to another while I'm busy coaching and stuff. And she's allowed me to do this for 23 years now. So really appreciate all that she's done. And so if you see her, give her a big pat on the back because she really deserves it as well. So I really want to thank her as well. All right, with that being said, any questions from anybody? Well, no, I don't think it really turned out today. I mean, everybody probably thought Colorado Mines at home. They had lost at home all year. That it would be the thing. I wasn't surprised at Black Hills beat them. I knew that they were capable of doing it. And fortunately for them, Mines had a pretty poor shooting night, and Black Hills had a good shooting night. And it seems like that Mines kind of struggled with that. We don't see how they do when they get into the next one. They start this week from that, so hopefully maybe they'll get out of the well. Yeah, but New Mexico Highlands, I definitely was not surprised. That is a team that is, I think you could say on paper, is as talented as anybody, if not more talented than most teams in the league. They do play up and down a little bit. They really rely on their pressure to affect people. So if you can handle their pressure, you can hear those stories improve. First time we played, we didn't handle the pressure real well. And so we turned it over a lot. The second time, we shot over 60%. So, that didn't happen with them. But they did a great job of just the defense. That was a lot better over those 2 days. I didn't watch it a little bit. And as I said in the paper, it's hard to be a team 3 times. And that Black Hills happened with their lines. That's a hard thing to do. I know Coach here can attest to that. It's just for basketball, it is a really hard thing to do to beat a team 3 times. And so I think that has a big part in it as well. Those are only 2 from our league, that made it in. So they'll play, Highlands plays West Texas A&M, which is the #1 seed in our region. And then Mines plays Lubbock Christian, who actually beat them earlier in the year. So that'll be an interesting matchup. Well,
would you like to see the rule implemented in basketball when you can't coach your team?
And, well, I was going to tell why, really, basketball is the same way. We just, haze in the barn, as I like to say, and we just get to get up and just get a little tension off and walk around more. But no,
Seriously though, the team ended the way they do, and I think it was fair to say that we're 8 coaches very happy that you weren't in the playoffs. So the expectations next year are going to be different. What do you do? Do you do anything differently if you're coming back? There's going to be expectations on them doing very well.
They won't even change our approach at all. I think when you start worrying about those type of things, that's when you start putting more stress on yourself, and then you don't perform at your best. Our foundation is that we control what we can control. We want to get 1% better every single day, whether we're in the weight room, whether we're in our gym, even in the classroom. We just want to get 1% better. And if we can do that like we did this year, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. And there's some things you can't control, and you don't know what's going to happen. And so, like I said, #1, the league will look different. I guarantee you next year. The rosters are going to look different. And so there'll be a couple coaching changes. So it's just going to be a different league next year as well. And there has been a Pueblo has made a coaching change. So yeah, I mean, we never liked our guys to worry about that. Even when we had a chance to be be in the playoffs. We never talked about that. You know, for us, we just wanted to go out, play what we want to play, and defend like we wanted to defend. And we knew that if we played to where our capabilities were, things would work out. And there was a couple times we stubbed our toe, ended up being some close losses against the teams. And this is one of those seasons where you could go back quite a few times and say, well, if we would have done this, or if we would have done that, we would have been in the playoffs. And so our goal is to just get better and not allow those opportunities to take hold. Which I think you might remember way back when we had Bobby Federer and all those guys, when they were all freshmen, you know, they lost 10 games that year by 3 points or less. And so it really reminds me of that same situation. And so really, this group is a lot like that group. They're a hard-nosed group, they love to work, they love to compete, they really have a great bond. Our locker room is a really good locker room. And so I think they have a lot of ingredients to be a really special group, I really do.
Well, that kind of goes in hand with the type of athlete, student athlete that you recruit, knowing that they're going to have the work ethic that they have to have, as you say about the time that they put in. They're not afraid of hard work, so they will get there. They won't sit back. I just have a lot of faith in them that they won't sit back.
No, it's a good group. We're excited to get them going again. Yes.
Recognizing we're going to lose a few graduation.
Yes.
Any thoughts or actions?
Yeah, well, obviously we already have signed Ollie Rama from Red Cloud. So he'll come in and fill 1 point guard spots that we have open. And, you know, he'll obviously be a transition from high school to college, and we're not going to expect him to come in and be what he is right now in high school. But he definitely has a lot of talent. And, you know, had one 60-point game this year in high school. He had multiple 40-point games. So, you know, his potential, I think, is really high. He's going to have to be stronger. But he's played against a lot of good competition in summer times. I saw him play against a lot of potential Division I players in the summer and put 30 points on some guys in the summertime. So, I mean, he knows what he's up for, and it's just going to be a matter of now competing every single day and get better. He loves basketball. He's a gym rat. He's a really special kid because he's just driven in all areas of his life. He will not accept just being average. And it's kind of a neat trait to have. He's really excited to get him in. And then the rest of our recruiting is still ongoing right now. So we'll start bringing in guys here over the next month. And obviously we don't have a lot of spots to fill, but if we get going, we'll start hopefully making some announcements here in the spring on that.
What kind of numbers do you want to carry?
I think 15 is a great number. Yeah, 15 is a great number for us. I just think you get more than that. It's hard to get kids reps, especially in the season. You know, your top players are the ones that need to get the reps. And if you have more than that, it's really hard to get guys reps. I don't like guys standing on the sideline. I like getting guys in and going. I know there's some people that like to do, you know, they'll have guys standing and watching practice, and I'm not that type of guy. If we're going to be in the program, we got to get you better. And you can't get better by standing and just watching.
Anybody that next year coming in that has been here this year, maybe riding the bench most of the time, anybody there that really thinks it's going to step up this year, just watch you about that drive?
You know, out of our red shirts right now, by the guy who's through so long is, you know, it's hard to say. We're just because I think we're playing at such a good level with the guys we have right now, really, it's going to be tough for those younger guys to break in right now. I think that's what's great about it. We've got a really good core coming in. So, I know we're right now. Unless we see some big improvement out of some guys. It's not really a fault of their own. It's just the fact that they've got some pretty good players ahead of them. And they're going to be a couple years older than them. So, I think what you saw this year, for the most part, is going to be our main group again next year. But that could change with recruiting here in the spring as well. I want a couple guys that I really like. If we can get it to one of them, they could be guys that you can see second right now. Anybody else? All right, again, thank you very much. It was a fun season.
diversity this year, and I can't say enough about Coach Lynn and Coach Turnbull, how they pulled that team together and accomplished what they did. And I am really excited about next year. So very entertaining to watch. We have the Hall of Fame, Hardrocker Hall of Fame 2019, my absolute favorite weekend of the fall because we get to honor these athletes. First that's going to go in is the 1969 and 70 men's cross country team, which consists of Monty Evans, double E, 1973 grad, Bruce Sabacki, 1973 Met E, Jim Goodman, 71 GLE, Steve Hagem, 72 double E, Jay Witzig, 71 mechanical engineer, John Simmons, 1974 civil engineer, Daryl Hedges, 1971 double E, Jerry Trokemoinen, 1973 double E, and Lindell Sunday, 74 ME. So that's the cross country team. Then we have Gary Gunther and Steve Steele, which were both part of the football team. They're both mechanical engineers, 1970 grads. We have Rob Ruth, who is a 1995 interdisciplinary sciences. He had that degree at one point, 1995. A gal that I played basketball with for 1 year, BJ Simpson-Cox. She's a 1993 civil engineer. She's going in as an all-round athlete with women's basketball, volleyball, and track and field. So she did 3 sports. And then we have one special person who's no stranger to Hardrocker athletics. He is going in for service and leadership, and I think his name would be Tom English. So we're happy to have him. Part of the Hall of Fame. So I know this is a ways away, but the date is September 28th, the last weekend of September. So at 10 a.m. we'll have the Hall of Fame brunch. I won't go through it all, but we have soccer, volleyball, football, you name it. If you're a sports fanatic, we have it that weekend. So be ready. Crossing my fingers, we have some good weather for the tailgate. A couple of other things to kind of tie it all together. Just so you guys know, right now our golf team is competing down in Vegas. I think that sounds like a good place to be right now. We have the Mines Masters April 7th. If you do plan on playing, deadline is March 25th to sign up. So if you haven't, please do so. We'd love to see you down there. Of course, April 12th we have Red Rock Golf Alumni Weekend for football. There's soccer games, Bauer Track Meet April 13th, and then also RMAC Track Championships last weekend. So, and again, thank you for your support this year. It's been great. All these first lunches. Yes, Cole? Yes, I was going to say that first thing I forgot. Please make sure you tip our waitress because they do a great job here for hosting the others come in. One of my favorite meals. Thanks for welcoming in to the Hardrocker family again. My third time back. I appreciate it. It's great to see all these fun faces. If you have any questions, always stop in. Make sure support the track, everything else going on this spring. We'll see you next fall for sure.